to Wool and Wine, episode 51. I'm Tammi.
I'm Claudia.
I'm Janet.
And welcome back. Today is a snowy day. We had, I don't know how many, 10 inches of snow yesterday or something. And it was pretty though.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I kind of like it. But
Yeah, we had about a foot here.
yeah.
A lot of snow, that's
Lots
for sure.
and lots. And well, for some of you, you're probably going, oh, you guys are such wimps.
Yeah. It was a lot of snow to come down within a 24-hour period.
For us, because we're
Yeah.
not used to that.
Yeah.
But it's still beautiful. I love it.
It's a winter wonderland. We'll take a
Yeah.
couple of pictures and post them at
Yeah,
the end.
yeah, we sure will.
So we're recording to you from Bellbrook, Ohio, which is a south suburb of Dayton. And it's the 7th of January. We're back to our routines and all
Yeah,
the fun.
All the things.
yeah.
Holy moly.
So,
So it'll be like a regular podcast.
right,
Yes.
with wine and everything.
Wine and
Yeah.
everything. Indeed.
So,
Cheers.
we have an Italian wine today.
Mmm.
What do you think?
This is tasty.
Cool.
Man, I gotta stop brushing my teeth right before we do this.
Because it tastes.
Well, it's very minty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go.
My next sip is gonna be delicious. I can tell.
It will.
Oh, goodness gracious! All right, so we should start with what we're wearing.
Yeah. So this is the Felix by Amy Christoffers, and I made this size 48. And here's the video. This with Shulana, Milford, in the colorway 22. And this is, I've had this for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
So is this bulky or worsted?
Yeah, I think it's more of a bulky because this has a pretty big gauge on it. I can't remember what it is, but I did make modifications, and you can probably tell if you've made the Felix. It's supposed to have, it's raglan with yarn overs. So.
Oh, right.
And I did that at first with this. I remember doing it and not liking it because it was too, the contrast with my skin in this I didn't like. So
And also a little breezy.
a little breezy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very nice woolly wool.
Yeah, and so I took them out and I just did a raglan where you do an increase on each side.
Yep.
I think I did a two
Yep, you've got two
rows of, here,
Yep.
here I'll show
Two,
you.
two stitches between your raglan. and
Right.
creases.
So
It's really pretty.
that's really all I did, and it was a little oversized, but that's okay. I'm gonna run some elastic thread through the bottom to pull it in a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think that's the only modification I made, and I really like it. This is one of my go-to sweaters at home.
That yarn is beautiful.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I'll be at home, and that's like, oh, it's a cold day. I'm putting this sweater on.
Yeah.
So, let's see. I don't know what exactly else to say about it, but here I'll show you the yarn is very pretty, and sadly it is discontinued because I looked it up.
That is a shame. 'cause
It-
that
it
was
really is a
gorgeous.
shame.
I
It
love
is
that
beautiful.
Yeah,
rusty color that's in there.
I do too. I do too. If I ever see anything like it, or if you guys ever see anything
Yeah,
like
let us
it, let
know.
us know because
Yeah.
we want
So
it.
what did you say it's called?
It's called Shulana
Milf.
Milford, and the colorway is 22. Yeah.
Shulana Milford. Yeah, I have never even heard of it, and I'm sure we saw the skeins. Was it in a ball, like a donut kind of a thing? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's just great. I'm glad you got it when you did because
I am too.
it was really
Right.
nice.
And I've been told that this is definitely my color.
Oh yeah, brown and orange. Duh.
Oh.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so what are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Solare by Locatelli. And here's the video. Here's another little close-up. Such a beautiful sweater. I loved making it. It was a nice, easy to read pattern. And the yarns I used were the Brooklyn Tweed Arbor in colorway Rainier. And I held that with the Hobby soft alpaca lace in the colorway Sage Melange. So that lovely lace is an alpaca, and I love it. I think I like it more than I like mohair. It's not as fuzzy, but it's just...
It fills in.
It does.
It does.
It lets you get gauge when your yarn doesn't quite get you there. And it's very inexpensive, and it's so soft, and
It
the
is.
color range is huge.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, all the points.
Yeah, I agree.
So this really, these two together, I love the color and love the pattern. And it was not a difficult pattern, and it was well written. So it's one of my favorites. I've made this 2 years ago, and this was a size 4, and it's a worsted weight. And I used like a size US 7 needle, so it's a nice big gauge.
20 stitch, huh?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
We know how we like that.
Yeah.
That's probably
So,
just about right.
And there's no real modifications to it.
No, it's a well-written pattern.
It is well written. So
I love the way she did the increases between the cables. It almost looks like brioche, the way that ribbing grows out of itself.
right.
It's just really gorgeous.
It is. So what are you wearing, Tammi?
I'm wearing the Sunday sweater by PetiteKnit.
That's pretty.
And then here's the video. So I knit this in February of 2022, so it's already 3 years old. And I love it. So this was done in Barocco Vibe, and again, that vibe is in one of those little donuts. And I held that together with Knit Picks Alpaca Bloom. So the vibe is poppy, and then the alpaca bloom is called flame red, but really when you look at the alpaca bloom, it's more a burgundy color. I think the poppy is the bright. You can see kind of the heathering that's from the two held together, but the poppy is clearly the brighter of the two. I love this combination, but oh, this is warm.
So there again, is that a lace weight alpaca yarn from Knit Picks?
It isn't lace weight. I think the alpaca bloom is, I've got it in with my mohair, but I feel like it's probably not lace weight. This is one of those fluffy ones. It looks like mohair on, it's got that cord in the center. And I want to say that this is a combination of cotton, alpaca, and wool. I can't remember all of everything that's in Barocco Vibe. I don't know, it might just be all wool. I don't know, but it is.
It'll be on your Ravelry page.
Yeah, all the details are on Ravelry for sure. And we
Yeah.
always forget to say
Right?
that up front. We link to the Ravelry pages, not, so we show pictures of the designers, but we link to our own Ravelry pages. And we're trying to be so good about keeping them updated on all of our projects, so.
And plus, we have all that information and the drop down more button. All of our show notes are in there, and we have all the details. So,
Yep, all of it's in there. Okay, so do you have any finishes?
I have one finished, but it was a gift, and I've already given it to my sister.
Okay.
But I do take a picture, so we'll put the picture in. And it's called the Squishy Soft Cowl by Jill June, and it's a free pattern. And I use Queensland, Brisbane, Stormy Ocean. It's a bulky weight yarn, and it gives you the effect of, what do they call, diagonals. And it's because, so it's a 4x4, because so you multiply that by however long you want it, and then you just take one stitch out, and so every time you're going down, it's going
So
round and
you
round and
knit
round.
4, purl 4, and every row you shift one stitch.
Well,
like
what
to
is
the
it?
left or the
Yeah,
right.
yeah, to the left. You take one. It's one stitch less than. So the cast on is one stitch less than it would be if you did the correct multiples, and that forces it to
twist.
Twist, yeah.
Got it.
So it's a pretty cool pattern. It was super easy and it was fun and turned out really nicely.
Wow.
I bet your sister loved it.
Yeah. I bet
I
she
think
did.
so. Yeah.
I bet she's loving it now.
Yeah, right. I
I
bet
love
she
it the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. for that.
So that's my only finish.
Okay. Well, that was really good, though, to get a Christmas gift done.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get a finish done?
I did. I got the Snowdrop Headband by Along Avic Anna, and here's the video. And here's the look of the headband.
That's really pretty.
So thank you. So I used the Knit Pick City Tweed DK in colorway Snowbank. I had some of this left over from a sweater, but anyway, this is the second one of these I've made. I made one 2 years ago and I wear it all the time.
Can I feel that?
And you know,
Oh my
like
gosh.
even in, you know, whenever it's
Oh,
windy
yeah.
or, you know, it could be
Nice.
spring, fall, winter, anytime.
Right.
But it's
Has a nice
nice
drape to it.
versus putting a full hat on my head
Yeah.
to just put a headband on. Makes it easier on the hair.
That is so soft.
So thank you. Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
beautiful, yeah. Easy
So-
pattern once you get started.
Yeah, once you get started, it really, you know, it's a little bit. There's a lot of variation in each row. So I mean, you get your mind going too. But it's simple and it's fun, engaging. I guess is what
Yeah.
better term is. It's a fun knit. an
So is it
engaging knit.
brioche or is it just ribbing?
It's a knit below. Each one of those stitches that stick out is you knit below. So you go down one row and knit. Do a knit through the row below. So that's what creates that.
Is that called fisherman's rib?
I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute.
I honestly
Could
don't
be.
know.
Could be.
It looks like brioche. It's just gorgeous.
And
thank
Tammy has a stack here.
I do have a stack here, but to my defense, a lot of this was, these were whips last time around. So the first one, you guys, I got Rick's sweater done. This is the Moby man sweater by PetiteKnit.
Does he love it?
Yes, he loves it. And then, so here's a picture or two of him wearing it. He was so shocked. He was so shocked. He pulled it out and could not believe that I got it done, because the whole time I was knitting, remember, I was telling him it was a test knit, and he was kind of snarling like, "No way, you could be working on my sweater. You said it, you have it done by sweater weather. It's sweater weather." He wasn't really grumping that much, but you know, it's cold out. Hence, you know, all the snow we got. He's worn it practically every day. I told him this morning that he can't wear it today because I have to be able to show it. The thing weighs 800 and something grams.
Oh my gosh.
I think 829. I put it on my Ravelry page, so you'll be able to take a look there.
So do you know how many pounds that is?
A lot.
By chance?
It's a lot of pounds. I don't even know. I'm not sure.
We could convert it.
Yeah. Okay, so then the next thing that I finished are the Yule goat socks. And that was a mystery knit along for the first 3 days of December. And this is a pattern by Anna Sjosvard Knitwear. And so I did the men's size 9 and the women's size 8. So these were for Rick, and he's been wearing the heck out of them, so excuse the wearing. You know, I said he's really hard on socks. I followed the pattern exactly for this pair. On mine, I did not. I was kind of done with color work by then, and I felt like on mine, they look so short and fat for a size 8, but they're like the perfect fit. And so the yarn I used is Blarney Woolen Mills Donegal Tweed, and I held a black Knit Pixeloft, so that the yarn is exactly the same for the body with both of them. On his pair, the red was the Studio Donegal Soft Donegal, and then I held the same alpaca bloom. I had some left over, so I held that with the Donegal to give it the thickness that you needed, because this is kind of a bulky, and I wanted really to add strength to it because it's 100% wool otherwise. So I'm hoping that the mohair in the foot adds strength to it. And then for this one, I held 2 white fingerings double with some white mohair. So that is...
Those are beautiful.
Aren't they so great, right?
Yeah, they
Yes,
are.
both pairs are just gorgeous.
Yes.
You made a pair, didn't you?
Well, I haven't made a pair.
You haven't finished them? Okay, so then I have the Rune mitts by Vanessa Ewing. So these were almost done the last time. This is a kit that I picked up at Cake Palooza when we were at Rhinebeck. So on this side you've got the phases of the moon, and on this side you have the rune.
Wow.
And so those are finished.
Love those.
Yeah, aren't they great?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
beautiful.
And they're a little snug, but we'll see.
I bet they'll fit me.
I bet they will. You can't have them, but you can try them on. And then the next one are the Fair Isle Mitten Mkalendar by Susanna Winter, also known as 2B Knits. So this was a really cool pattern that every single day we got another section, and they were intended to be, you knit one mitt and you had a choice of a fingerless mitt, a flip top fingerless mitt, or a full-on mitten. I of course did the fingerless mitts. And the intent was every day you would get a clue for the first half of the month, and then you would knit your second mitt with the next clues. I decided to do them 2 at a time of the same clues. So I cast on my cuffs and I did one and then I did the other. So these were done on a US 1, and I used Holskarn Super Soft for them, and I just had a bunch of super soft. And on this one, I was doing them, like I said, I do one and then the other. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it open like this or filled in like that. So I decided, what the heck, they're my gloves, I can do one each.
There you go.
So
Those are pretty. Did you have a lot of
ends to weave in.
Ends to weave in.
I
correct.
did. I turned one wrong side out, I think, on the last podcast, didn't I? And it was like
Oh,
a
yeah,
hot
you had
mess.
it.
Oh, right.
It was just like a
those
gnarly mess.
Oh,
But
those are so
honestly,
cute.
it was really good. So it's just a perfect size. And so I was in a little chat group that Lorian was so good to. She's knitting and you know what? She might have changed her podcast name again. No, she was knitting and then she, not again, but she may have changed the name of it. I think she did. And I just follow her because I love watching all the stuff she does. But anyway, she and Shannon from Whiskey and Wool and a couple of Lorian's other friends were in this little chat group doing the same mitts, and they invited me to be in on that. So it was a ton of fun.
I bet that was
It
fun.
was, yeah. So the whole time we're getting the clues, chatting around and chatting back and forth. One of the girls, Suzanne, lives like 30 minutes away, close to the Indiana border.
Oh, wow.
And we were chatting over the last couple of days about the snowfall. So anyway, that's all of my finishes. So I think, I was like 75% done with the mitts the last time. So
yeah.
and Rick's sweater, what did I have, like one sleeve left to
Something
do?
like
Or
that,
the sleeves were done and I had the body. I was knitting like a friggin' maniac. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I bet. She got that done in plenty of time.
Well, I had to get it done, but then I had to get it blocked.
Yeah, without him seeing it.
Yeah, ended up, I've got the, it came in like a 3-pack, the sweater drying rack that it all comes apart in tubes and mesh with legs, and you can stack them on top of each other. Well, I don't usually stack them, although, I could, but I put one together and put it on the side of the bed in the guest room with the fan on, and I had something that wasn't even drying laying on the bed on blocking mats, so he would think that the fan was on for that, but it was really on for his sweater that was on the other side of the bed, because he won't go in there and mess with any of that. He doesn't even want to look at it,
Yeah.
So it was like super good surprise.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I
It's
felt
always
like
great to have that surprise like that.
I know, I felt like a real good spy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I am knitting it in a size 48 using the Rowan Felted Tweed Avocado colorway, Prime Alpaca Natural, and Debbie Bliss Angel in the colorway Ecru. So I guess I can pull all that out. Anyway, so here we go. I have made some progress.
Oh, wow.
Not a
look at
ton of
that.
progress, but I'm loving these colors together.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Getting anxious to put mine on the needles.
Yeah, as you should. One thing, so I do like using the
Long tail
cast on, and but if you're doing it from the bottom up, it sometimes can be not be stretchy enough. So I went up one needle size to do this,
Just the cast on.
just the cast on, and it does make it a little bit stretchier, which I
Really
like.
good idea.
Yeah. And then I went down, I think she said to use the same needle all the way through. And so but I did go down one on the ribbing. And then, so there it is. And here's the yarns I'm using. And I have to say, I really love this Rowan Felted Tweed.
Yeah.
And then this is the alpaca. I think it's Alpaca Prime. And then the ecru mohair. So
Gives it that fluff.
yeah,
It's really
which kind of
pretty
makes
on the white.
it pop a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Yeah, so
Really soft.
I'm really
looking.
happy with it. I've been working on this probably the most because I really like it. I want to be able to wear it. So.
It's a very engaging pattern.
It is, and it doesn't take a whole lot to, once you get your ribbing done, it's just the same, 16 stitches or 16 rows. over however many it was, over and over. So it's you just go straight up until I have to separate. So yeah, so that's going.
That's
very well.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to have to go to the wool gathering this year. I'm getting low on prime alpaca.
Are you?
Love that yarn. I've used a lot of it.
It's so good to hold with something else. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, it's a beautiful yarn, and I have it in kind of a medium gray too that I haven't. Well, really, this is the first time I've used any of it.
oh,
It's like I better get moving with that.
yeah. Goodness gracious. So do you have whips?
I do. So the first one I have is the Mackeson by Thea Colman.
Woohoo!
Oh, this is the Thea show.
Yeah. Okay, and that was not it. And that's not it.
Which one is
Okay,
it?
woo, it's this one.
It's her Christmas bag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Holy moly.
So
look at that.
this
Oh,
is,
that's really pretty.
and
I can't
then
tell
I'm
the difference in
starting
the bottom.
on, I separated a little bit, cast off a little bit for the arms, underarms, and so now I'm doing the front.
Wow, you've made some real
moly,
progress.
I have.
That's gonna be
So-
lovely.
The yarn that I'm using is the
That's
Magpie
beautiful.
Fibers Nest. Oops, where's the label? It's the Nest worsted, and Careless Whisper is the color.
That is beautiful.
And this is the first time I've used this yarn, and I do really like it. It gives really nice stitch definition. So the
pretty.
cables really look great. This is the same yarn that Thea used in hers, in her sample.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And it's one of the few times that I've used the suggested yarn
Yeah.
when
wow.
making something.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit of a treat because it's not a real inexpensive yarn. It's pretty expensive.
But it's beautiful.
So,
Man.
worsted weight pattern. She suggested a size US 8 needle. I had to go down to a 6. Probably a 7 would have worked okay needle, but I did a 6. And then now that I'm separating for the front, I did go up to a 7 because I wanted to be a little more of a drop shoulder.
Oh, that's a good idea. And have it
So-
fit nicer at the waist. Yeah.
Right. And but other than that, following to pattern, and it is very engaging and a lot of fun. And like once you get working on it, you know what you're doing.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
little different when separating, but it's very simple.
Nice.
That is
So-
just gorgeous.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
I know.
You've been working away.
She has. Good girl.
Well, we drove to Chicago, and of course I was the navigator. So I sat and knit all the way up there and back.
Well, that's always nice.
That's right.
Okay, so I am working on the Cragmore vest. It's a test knit by Beth MacDonald Stone. And I did remember the last time to put in a marker so I could keep track of where I was. I haven't made a ton of progress because I also am knitting on a Thea Colman. I actually just finished a test knit that is coming out Saturday or Sunday. So,
Well, that's exciting.
yeah, I can't, it's all twisted. So I put this on the back burner because I knew that that was coming out sooner. So the last time I showed this, I was about right here. So I have a couple more inches done, and this is now my main priority. I tried it on again this morning, And
beautiful.
it's going to be really good. Yeah, and it looks super tiny, but it's because of all the ribbing. It's going to fit more than adequate. It's going to be fine. The next thing I'm going to do, I think, is pick up around the collar and get the neckband on, just in case it pulls it up a little bit so I can see. But I'm loving it. This one also, so Claudia is knitting with Rowan Felted Tweed, and I too am knitting with Rowan Felted Tweed. And this one is, I think, color 70 or 177. And it's kind of a pale gray with blue and much darker blue, like a bright blue and navy speckles in it. So this is just a really, really good one. And I should have that finished in another week or two.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's really, really pretty. That'd be a beautiful sweater, full sweater. Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, so I have also been working on the Kylie pullover, and
Who's that by?
oh, I'm sorry, that's by Irene Lynn, and I am doing a size 2, which is a 48. It's supposed to be very
Drop shoulder.
oversized, but
Wow, that's pretty.
I haven't made a lot of progress, but I have made some. I was working on this quite a little bit, and so, yeah. So I keep going on it, and I'm surprised at how heavy it is, however it feels. But I love the yarn, and the yarn is Pearl Soho Serif, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. Let's see if I can, there we go. And this colorway is Gray Birch. And I know I've talked about this yarn before. It is just so soft and silky.
It is.
I would never think this was cotton, ever. I don't know what I would have thought it was, but
Silk.
Silk.
Maybe silk, bamboo, something,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
not just cotton. No, it's so cool to the touch too.
yeah, 100% cotton. So I'll finish it eventually. I hope to have it done
Yeah.
earlier, but yeah, I'll keep working on it.
Really nice.
I like it a lot.
That's a beautiful sweater.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, my next whip is Core by Natasja Hornby. And since I last showed this,
Wow.
Girl, you're making progress.
I have separated for sleeves.
Looks like a little shrug. How cute.
Right? So it's like this little shrug at this point.
That's beautiful.
I love your yarn. It's so you.
That's a really, really good color.
Yeah, so the yarn that I did use was the Simply Socks Yarn Company Colossal Sock. And the colorway was Pinot. So it has a gorgeous, all kinds of gorgeous colors, but it's like a dark brown with purples and peaches and pinks and blues.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everything but green.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know if I showed you the back. So this is the seam that's right in the middle of the back. So that goes all the way down the sweater.
So cute.
That is lovely.
Yes, I've worked on it some, but I tell you, I got to get this done. I'm getting excited. It's a fingering weight pattern. And what else can I say about it? I'm anxious to get it done.
Yeah.
Once again.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's really
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah. Yep, it's gorgeous.
All right. So next on my list is the Houndstooth Cowl by Jessica P. And sure I've got my ball bands down here. This yarn that I am making this with, I won at Cakepalooza from the folks at Hobie. They were back in the back and they had a spinning wheel, or a spin wheel, not spinning wheel, a spin wheel that you'd walk up and give it a spin, and whatever it landed on was what you won. And these are my two colors. Oh, it's blowing out. It's showing all the light in here that is definitely not.
I'll fix it. Maybe this will help.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's just, yeah, it's still blowing out. It's just the camera is picking up the white in the background. But then here is the label for this. It's the Happy Place. Apricity by TL Yarns, made for Hobie. And the content is 65% alpaca, 28% polyamide, and 7% wool. And I gotta tell you, this is some lovely yarn to work with. It feels a lot like Drop's Wish. I think you could easily substitute. Oh, you have some, yeah. So I haven't even shown you the cowl yet. Here is the cowl, how it's knitting up. And the bottom's flipping, so I really hope that that doesn't continue.
Is it
Once
ribbing at
it's
the bottom?
blocked. No,
Yes.
it's not ribbing, it is garter.
Oh.
So it's a few rows of garter, but I do have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the pattern, it is a free pattern, and the pattern itself has 5 repeats. I am finishing the 5th repeat now, and I still have all this yarn left. So what I'm thinking about doing is just continuing on with stripes and then attaching it, like making a tube, Kitchenerring one end to the other, and maybe that will just fold under and it won't be a problem. We'll see if I can make it twice as long, because it's only supposed to be that tall, but I also don't know if it's going to fit around my neck if I double it, because it almost looks like it's the size of a hat right now.
Yeah, but since it's on your cord.
Yeah, it's getting pulled in.
Yeah.
And it's not blocked yet. So, but it's super thick. Like,
Squishy.
that's going to be the warmest thing ever when it's done.
But yet it's light as a feather.
It is light as a feather. I really love this yarn. I think that I would like a sweater in this.
Nice.
Yeah. I bet, you know, have we ever had a Hobie yarn that we haven't been like super pleased with?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so.
But this one, it was brand new, and they were doing it as a prize to get the word out. I
Yeah,
think.
promotional.
Yeah. And the word is out with me because I'm loving it. And the two colors that I picked go so well together. And
They do.
the cowl,
Perfect, yeah.
nice and bright. So
Lovely.
you won't get lost in the snow with that on. At least your neck will be safe out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have another whip?
I do. It's whip time. Okay, so I have the Moriarty cardigan by Trust the Mojo. And I am making it in the Drops Wish. And it's the gray beige colorway.
It's really pretty color.
And so far, it's been a pretty fast knit. I don't know. So this is the collar, and this is the top of the shoulders. And then you do increases for the sleeves, which gives it that nice little shaping. And now I'm starting on increases, raglan increases. So I'm excited about it. I mean, it is a large gauge. I think it's a 12-stitch gauge, and I really like this contrast, the type of technique between here and the stockinette. So Yeah, it's coming along.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll have that done in no time at that gauge. That's
Yeah,
really
if I work
great.
on it, if I work on it regularly.
Yeah.
And one thing I was gonna say about this pattern is so well written, and I think this is probably one of the better ones I've ever done. And then it has this checklist, so you can let's see
Don't
if I
show
can.
too much. Is it a paid for?
Yeah, but it doesn't show, it just has increased rows and row numbers and how many stitches you have, and so it's,
So she puts like an Excel spreadsheet kind of a checklist thing in there.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. And so after each row, you know how many stitches you're supposed to have until you get down to the point where you're working just the body.
Wow.
That's nice to
Yeah,
know.
that is nice.
Yeah, so it's really helped me because like, sometimes I go, did I do that increase? And then I can just count and there it is.
And it tells you exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And the sleeve has some cable on it down on the cuff. And it probably won't make it as long as she shows, but yeah, so it'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Those look pretty.
Oh, yeah. Well, these 4 are from Tammi, my greens. And then another friend gave me the blue.
They look pretty on you.
Thank you. They give
All
me
right.
good vibe.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So are we gonna?
So my next whip is Micah's Raglan sweater. First Raglan. Let's see, what is it called? Micah's Raglan sweater by Hannah Graham.
Isn't that cute?
Oh,
Here's what I have done so far.
oh that's adorable.
So I'm using the same yarn that I used when I made those little Ugg booties. It's the Go Handmade Cozy in the colorway Caramel.
Isn't that adorable?
I
So-
love that little raglan.
Yeah, I know, right? Little raglans going down the sides, in the front and in the back.
Oh my god.
That's adorable.
So here's what the label looks like for that. I'm sure I probably showed this before. But I'm not sure that I'm going to have enough yarn. So since I'm on the fence on that, I'm going to go ahead and do the collar with this yarn, which is the Rowan All Seasons Cotton in colorway beige. And so like I'll do the collar with this, the hems, and the cuffs.
Perfect.
And I think that'll add a cute little touch.
Yeah.
And then
That'll
I
be
won't have to worry about playing yarn chicken.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is a size 18 months. So he's still in the 12 months. Like he had this big growth spurt and then he's kind of like, okay. I'm not growing so quick anymore, but so anyway,
He will.
Yeah,
he will soon enough. So
That is adorable, Janet.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pattern. That's a cool pattern.
That's really cute.
So there's several different sizes that go up to a size 10 is the largest size. And kids. 10-year-old.
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 Wow, that's good to know.
So I can keep making them.
Yeah, you can.
All right, so my next whip is part acquisition for Christmas. I got the Latvian Mittens book, and I am knitting the Purple Roses mitts out of this book.
That is gorgeous.
And
They are gorgeous.
they are. That book is just loaded with all kinds of beauty. So
How
I
pretty
have
are
one of the
those?
mitts mostly done, and I had, when we moved here, that was 7.5 years ago, had boxes of yarn, like cardboard boxes that were on a shelf in the guest bedroom downstairs. And I went in there last week. I was sick and couldn't leave the house, and I wasn't too sick to knit, but I was too sick to do much else. And I ended up knitting this thing in just a few days' time because, I mean, how could you not? Look at that.
Right.
Like,
That's
once you get
gorgeous.
started, I couldn't put it
Can
down.
I look at this?
Of course.
I gotta look at this. Wow.
And so anyway, it has a peasant thumb, just like the other mitts that I've been doing. And I have those stitches now on just 2 9-inch circulars just being held. And the next thing I'll do is, you know, pick that up and get the, I'll have to finish that thumb since I put them on my needles, because the 9-inch circ is what I did the whole thing on. This one was a challenge because you are actually knitting with 3 colors on the same row on a lot of the rows. Like a lot of purple and green are on the same rows, and then you get to drop the green and it's only purple and black, and then you do a little bit of both, and then you get to drop the purple and it's just the green and black. But they're so many different ones, and of course I picked one of the most difficult, but I had exactly the right yarn in that box already, so all of this was super deep stash.
Oh, wow.
And it's
so exciting to pull out that beautiful stash.
It's Cascade 220 fingering, and so the green is jasmine green, black, and then purple hyacinth. And I'm just shocked at how that purple stands out against the
Yeah, that
black.
is
I mean, it
amazing.
just really, really does. Now, I did block this, and I used the sock blocker, because the top part of the sock blocker is exactly that shape.
Oh, no kidding.
So I got to use that again. Yeah.
Wow. There's
So-
some beautiful patterns
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
lots and lots of them. And then, okay, so do you guys have more?
No, so go ahead.
So
I
one
have
more.
one. I have-
You have
sorry.
another whip? All right. then.
Well, it's kind of. I had started doing those socks, the
Oh,
Yule
right.
goat socks, and I never did anything with the other socks because it just didn't fit. I didn't like the fit, so I said I'm going to start making it but I had to do a new gauge, a swatch, because I had new yarn, a different yarn.
Oh,
And I
wow.
never finished my swatch because my cat got into my mohair.
Oh.
So, but I will get to it. And anyway, so I don't know how you did it on a size 6. I've got a 4 and I still don't have gauge. I got to go down to a 3 now. That's amazing. And I was looking at other people on the project page, and a lot of them are doing with the size 4. But anyway, this is my colors that I'm planning on that I'm using. It's the Studio Donegal, soft Donegal, and this is the light gray and the red.
That's going to be really pretty.
Yes. So
I just hope that I'm not leading us astray, that 100% wool held with mohair is going to be sturdy enough.
well, and I did get some of that.
It's reinforcement stuff.
Yeah, reinforcement, or it's the anti-skid, so it's not going to be slippery on the bottom. So that'll give it, I think, give it more strength on the bottom, because that's really what you're talking about, what you're walking on, right? Yeah, so I think that'll be just fine. And hopefully next time I will have started. That's just part of it.
Nice. So we're going to be going to sandals in February at St. Vincent, and I was kind of looking through my summer wear, and it turns out I've got a whole lot of summer clothes that are navy and they're sleeveless, and a lot of times when you go to these places they are
Air conditioned.
air
and cold.
conditioned and you've been out in the sun all day, and it's cold in the air conditioning if you get any sun. I mean, I'm really careful. I don't actually sit in the sun. I sit under an umbrella and knit at the pool most of the time. So, but I decided that what I needed was a topper. I didn't want to wear a shawl because most of my shawls are wool. And so I had talked about this yarn before when I bought it. It's the Susia Elegant, and this is 42% silk, 42% cotton, 10% metallicized polyester, so it's very, very, oh, you can definitely see the sparkle on it, and then 6% polyamide. And I kept telling the girls I wanted to make something really open to wear over some like just summer things. So I couldn't really find anything. And when at Christmas time, Karen and Joe came, and Karen wanted me to help her learn to do crochet granny squares. And it felt really, really good to have a crochet hook in my hand. I was a crocheter before, a knitter, and I used to crochet all the time. So I decided that I would see if I could come up with a pattern for just a topper that I could throw over sleeveless. And I start to say strapless. I don't have anything strapless that I would wear like that, but I do have things with like spaghetti straps that you have to wear a strapless bra with. So here's a picture that I came up with. And I'm doing the self-drafted pattern that is just mesh, and there is actually a front and a back. So here's what it looks like, and the plan is to just seam it at the shoulders. I'm going to leave the armhole opening at 14 inches, I think that's 7 inches down. Seam it at the shoulders and then seam it down the sides. Leave this part open and then pick up stitches and crochet sleeves. So you'll have seen from, you'll have seen from that pattern. So this part I think is done because like I said, I'm going to be wearing it over other things. And
Wow.
it's
Very cool.
all it is single crochets. This thicker part in between, this row is single crochets, and then these are double crochets. And I am making, so this is, if that was the front, this is the back. I just joined a new ball. There's a bow here where I joined a new ball and am starting the second. So I'll crochet this to the same number of rows and then put it together and see how it works.
Cool.
If it works, yay. If it's a fail, whatever, you know.
Well.
I will have just had fun doing it. If it's a fail for me, it won't be a fail for one of my grandkids. Somebody's going to love it. So I'm using a size G hook, and it's really kind of cool to the touch. It's like, you wouldn't think.
Oh yeah, it is definitely.
So
It's funny.
I thought it would be a little rough, and I'm still not sure it won't be, you know, because of the metallic in there. But I think it's going to be okay. And it's not blocked yet, so I will, of course, block it when it's all done. So I'm just having a little bit of fun with that. And my Ravelry page will have the exact notes. So it's going to be about a size 38 to 40-ish. And honestly, I just chained on. A starter chain, crochet chain, I don't even know what the words are, in 3+ however, you know, I chained and I went, that looks about right, and held it up to my shoulders and went, yep, that looks about right, counted it, and I had 83 chains, so that was divisible by 3 + 1. So I think that'll be just the right amount. Anyway, do you guys have acquisitions?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, I see you.
Somebody does. Yeah.
Go for it there, girl.
All right.
Oh yeah, I should have brought my.
So over the Christmas holiday, Tammi and I got together and we found a really good sale that was at Little Knits, and it was the Cascade BFL. And so we both bought some. And so this was lavender of some sort, and this was a rose heather.
Yeah, and
And
you
so
guys thought
that
that
was-
220, Cascade 220 is good. Cascade BFL is just as good.
Yeah, it's real. It's the first time I've used it, or I haven't used it yet, but first time I purchased some. And then Claudia gifted me this beautiful yarn from the Weaver's Loft, and I think that's in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to a
And-
Weaver's thing and they had yarn like that.
This is all my gorgeous colors
Weaver's Guild.
that I love. The blues and the purples and some greens.
Yum.
So, and this is
Deliciously
a
gorgeous.
fingering, and it's a big ball.
Yeah, I think it's
So it'll go
1,000
far.
yards or something.
So, yeah, so that's so sweet. So, more knitting down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I do have a couple more books for acquisitions. Kids always ask what I want, and this time I really told them. So I got the Joyful Colorwork Socks by Charlotte Stone. And this thing is loaded with the cutest sock patterns. I'm trying to see if there's a page that shows all of the cuteness. I don't think there's any one. Well, this is a pretty good example. There's all kinds of adorable socks in here. But the one, so Chrissy is the one who got me this one. Yes, this was from Chrissy. She wants, as I was flipping through this,
Those are cute.
Lips.
check these out. Lips and lipstick. Is that not adorable? However, I don't think they'll wear socks, but what I'm going to do is use, so these are probably 64 stitches on a US 1. I'm thinking, because that's kind of what most of them are. 64, yeah, so the medium size. So that's perfect because it just so happens that some of these mitts are also 64 on a US 1 or US 2. So I probably will go up to a US 2 and knit that color work on a fingerless mitt.
That'd be
Oh,
fun.
And that
be
way
cute.
the lipstick tubes are up here and all the lips can be down here.
That would be cute.
And that way it'll show, and the part that they like so much about it will be the part that shows best. So
That's
That'll
a
be-
great
won't that be
idea.
adorable? Yeah, so
Fun.
that'll be, yarn is coming today for that. So those are going to be superwash. This is non-superwash for me, but superwash for them. And then I also got the Knitting for Olive book. This is a really interesting book. It's got really cute patterns in it, but it also is a really great book for just all kinds of things. I mean, some of these sweaters are just adorable. There's a cabled, or not cabled, there might be a cabled one, but there is a ribbed one in here that I really like. And I thought I just flipped past and saw there's a cable, but I found a ribbed one that I think would be like so good.
That reminds me of what you have on.
That's true.
Well, this one's ribbed all the way down.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm anxious to start knitting out of that book. But what's really got my attention right now is this yarn that I bought from Claudia. She was de-stashing. It's Aldine Wool's flannel back when Knit Crate was doing a thing. The color, or it's called Buffalo, and it's 47% Surrey alpaca, 38% alpaca wool, so just alpaca, not Surrey, and then 15% non-superwash merino. It's a DK weight, and that color is just everything. So I am really anxious to get something cast on with that. and then one, gosh, I feel like I'm going on and on and on. And one of my daughters, same one who got me the sock book, she's like, Mom, that can't be all. What else do you want? And I had her pick up a pack of Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks in Sapphire Heather. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And I have a 10 pack of this to add to some that I already own. And I want to do color work with this because when we were at Rhinebeck, I picked up some gorgeous pale blue and white color changing, like dark blue, pale blue, and white. And I thought that would make like the most glorious color work with this, right?
Yes.
And if that skein isn't enough, last year for Christmas, Janet got me a bunch of minis that are the same colors that are in that color changing, so I can do some other things with that. So we'll see what that all becomes, but exciting no less.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking before we started recording about potentially like next week, we obviously are not going to have enough knit to show another progression of what we're working on, but maybe doing our top 5 knits from last year, from 2024, and kind of bringing those and showing a video of them and talking about
I don't
them.
remember that conversation, but
You weren't here yet. That's what happens when you're like 3 minutes late.
Yeah, right.
We've already talked about a bunch of stuff, but we thought that sounded like a lot of fun. So we'll mull that over, and maybe that's something that we can do. So
Yeah, it sounds good, really good.
yeah, it doesn't require more or faster knitting. It just requires pulling some stuff out and showing you all and talking about what we liked and you know our successes from
I have to remember
last
what
year.
I knit last year. It's in Ravelry though.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Are you getting thirsty? I'm getting thirsty.
Yes, I'm
Yes,
getting
it's wine
thirsty as
time.
well.
Let's do
Yes.
wine.
All right. So today we are tasting an Italian wine. It's a Super Tuscan, and it's a 2020, and it's I think it's Cab and Merlot, or anyway, I got to look that up for you.
Who's the wine?
The winery is
Super Tuscan, in that always Sangiovese?
No, Italy is supposed to be, hang on one sec, thanks. In Tuscany, their wines are usually Sangiovese, but if it's not 100% Sangiovese, then it becomes a Super Tuscan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So the winery is called Ricasole.
Yeah.
And this has been around since 1141, which is amazing. It's, let's see, I wanted to read this to you just because I thought it was kind of interesting. The wine has, it's the 4th oldest company in the world, still running by its founding family, and the first in Italy in the field of wine. The estate extends over 1,200 hectares, the largest in Chianti Classico, of which 235 hectares planted up to vine. They also do some olives as well, but I thought that was kind of interesting considering it's such an old winery. And yes, the grapes are Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Sangiovese. And no surprise, it
Very
says
good.
Yeah, that's no surprise. It says did say up here on Vivino, well, you haven't really tried one like this before. So, wow, that's amazing. And then I looked at this and I go, well, it kind of looks the same.
Yeah, it does.
It's sort of in the middle between a light and bold, and then it's slightly tannic. And then it's dry, and it's right between soft and acidic. So
yeah, it's a very mild.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's a little less bold than what we all
we usually
love.
get right. Yeah.
But this is really tasty.
It is tasty. That's delicious.
Really?
actually,
You would,
yeah.
okay, so I'll give you the price point on this because it's pretty amazing.
What?
$11.83.
You're kidding me.
No.
But I'll tell you what, if
Wow.
weren't we
This is
talking about
really
that?
good.
That when you go to Italy and you sit down in a restaurant, you drink their table wine because it's so good.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
all good there.
Yeah. But then people say, well, they export the stuff that they keep most of the really good stuff and export the rest.
But from what I've heard on the last few wine dinners is that they do want to have more exports to the US, and it's not necessarily their bad stuff, it's their good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're moving away from that. I think that used to be the way, but they're kind of more, they're
More
evolving.
open, yeah. Okay, so this says there's mentions of blackberry, plum, and black fruit. Oak,
Definitely black
chocolate, tobacco,
Yeah, for sure.
cherry, red fruit, strawberry.
I don't know about
This is our usual. Delightful.
And so
Flavors and colors.
for $11 or $12, that is a really good buy. And you could probably look it up on Vivino and see, let's see if they have a place you can buy it. Usually they'll tell you.
So now, did you get this from a wine tasting, or?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I might have. I wonder. No,
I wonder if somebody brought it to your house.
and left it. They could have. Yeah. Yeah. I
But
don't
they
know.
might have got it somewhere like that too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think you're going to find it in a
Grocery store.
In a grocery store.
Well, it's a 2020. Right, so...
And it did say this was their favorite vintage so far.
Oh, wow. After 1,100 years?
Well, of this,
Dude!
hello.
I'm sure it's happened from that long. Probably since this
Exactly.
family owned the
I think it was
this family
particular-
generation.
That's a
This
problem.
is, yeah. I can't imagine a week we could still drink it. So this is Antico
Fuedo.
in Toscana. Okay, Miss taking Italian
I
lessons.
am, yeah. Indicazione geographica tipica. Yeah, so it's probably a geographical zone
Oh, okay. Okay.
of Tuscany where they have their wines, which makes a lot of sense. I haven't learned those words specifically yet, but
Pretty good at that.
but it's, I mean, you can tell that yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So the geographica is geography. So
Okay.
it's talking about a location.
Right.
Of,
So this is a contemporary wine from the Riscoli family, dedicated to the great wines of Tuscany for many centuries. Its versatile character will surprise you, delivering bright fruit flavors that can be paired with many dishes.
yeah, that would be really good with lots of things. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would. But when I saw the price of it today, I'm like, "Oh, I hope we like it."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're not complete wine snobs. Just mostly.
Yeah. So.
I mean, you like what you like, and it doesn't have to be expensive to like it.
No, exactly.
And I'm not afraid to try a lesser expensive one. It's
No.
just that experience a lot of time tells you that, like barefoot.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, right.
No grocery store wines.
Right. Right. But some of the whites
Yeah, some of
are
the wines.
grocery store wines.
They would be
They're
okay.
pretty
Yeah.
darn good once
Yeah.
you chill them on a hot summer day.
Yes, that is true.
That's true.
That is true.
Or with a crispy salad.
There's some good grocery store wines.
Yeah.
I'm not putting those down.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily feature those on our podcast.
Well, we don't. That's not what we buy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
But,
anyway, anything else?
So we're up to 4,400 subscribers. So if you like our podcast, then hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, because we are
helps us.
going to have a giveaway
Yeah.
at 4,500, and
It'll be a nice
also, yeah, it'll be a really nice one.
Yeah,
So
for sure. We're getting excited about that.
we
But
are.
in the meantime,
yeah,
if you can't be with the wine you love, love the wine you're with. Cheers.